We all know the pandemic has had a major impact across all industries. The art community has not been immune to that. Broadway will go dark at least until the beginning of next year. Clubs and music venues throughout the tri-state area, but specifically in New York City and New York, remain closed. When outdoor dining reopened, some of those entertainment venues were also allowed to open. But now New York State is reminding venues of a change in rules. Joining me right now is Edjo Wheeler. He is the executive director of the Culture Lab LIC. Good morning, Edjo. Thank you for joining us this morning. I wonder if you can tell our viewers, first of all, what Culture Lab LIC is.
Well, thank you, and thanks for having me on. We appreciate the time to be able to speak. Culture Lab is an arts, culture, and community center with 12,000 square feet. We have 3 art galleries, a 90-seat theater, and annually we produce over 50 fine art exhibitions, 40 theater and musical productions, over 100 classes and educational programs, and dozens of community events. We've helped raise thousands of dollars for local charities by activating this center to their benefit. And it's all been made possible through Blacksall donating the space.
So really a pillar in the community has been for years. The New York State Liquor Authority recently updated its website to clarify language about rules that have been in place since mid-March. And I just want to sort of show our viewers a reminder of what the language is. We have this full screen. It says, no ticketed events, live music at restaurants cannot be advertised. They must be, quote, incidental, not the main draw, and all other forms of live entertainment like comedy shows are not allowed. Now, this is something that has been in place since mid-March, but there have been some published reports recently reminding folks of this rule. So how does this affect the events that you host? Because I know you also do live comedy shows.
Right. So with those restrictions in place, we've obviously moved everything outside. And it means that masks are required, social distancing is strongly enforced, and we just have to cut down on how many people are coming into the space. You know, the arts are being decimated right now, and the artists are having an incredibly difficult time, just like everyone. But the arts are notoriously underfunded already, and one of the things that makes LIC and New York special is the arts. It's one of the great things we're known for, and it makes the city valuable. So we're dedicated to keeping the arts alive at Culture Lab within these restrictions. It just means we have to be very careful moving forward.
And what does that mean in terms of being very careful? Because I know that's it's kind of a slippery slope. You know, you can see both sides of it. You're trying to support these artists who are providing a service, but who also need to get paid, while at the same time keep the spread of coronavirus down. So I wonder what kind of conversations you're having within your organization and with your artists about how to move forward, knowing that, you know, the SLA has these rules and regulations.
Well, the restrictions are obviously challenging for all businesses, arts venues in particular, but they are necessary. COVID numbers in New York are way down, and we need to keep it that way. But we hope that the state can be flexible enough to remember these restrictions can severely limit the ability for small businesses to operate. We need to keep these places open for the health of the city. And as much as we want to tell the authorities to be flexible, us citizens need to follow the rules so that we can work together to get through this. We're lucky enough to have a large enough space to even be able to enforce these rules, for people to come out and see culture and fantastic music and amazing bands like Brolic and the other jazz gods that are in Queens. But we all need to work together to make it through this difficult time and still retain arts in New York City. It's been extremely challenging.
Edjo Wheeler, I suspect that this is going to be an ongoing issue that we will continue to discuss and see evolve. And I thank you so much for your time. Again, Edjo Wheeler, the Executive Director of the Culture Lab LIC. Thank you so much for your time this morning.
Thank you.